our sound over?
I don't know.
Oh, what happened?
I have
Damn it.
no idea.
Oh,
That's
The
okay.
intro got botched. God damn it.
All right. Well,
a
why don't you do
glitch.
it?
That's
Back to you.
that's what happens when Carney's not here. This is when all the voodoo magic and all the bad things happen. I'll blame him just because it's an easy target. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTobacco.com. I am joined once again by my beautiful fiance, Smokin Nicole, and as I said before, Jonathan Carney is not here again. Um, I need someone to point a finger at right now. But anyway, we are here. We're doing our first Ashton show. It's been a long time coming. I've always wanted to do it, but now we're finally here, and we have Andy Green from Ashton here with us. Andy, welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show.
Thanks for having me. I'm very grateful for you guys to invite me on the show. And despite the fact that John Carney can't join us, I'm looking forward to enjoying myself nonetheless, Matt and Nicole.
Oh, absolutely. It's still a good time with or without him. It's he helped create the show, but it's okay. He's not here. I'll keep it going. But no, Andy, we're really happy to have you here. We met you briefly at PCA last year, and talking with you, leading up to the show and getting to know you a little bit more. But I've heard nothing but not just good things about you, but I've heard nothing but praise about you. Everyone I talk, Andy Green's coming on your show. Oh man, they're like, that dude's a legend. It's just been nonstop. It's people like were ecstatic. They're like, you got Andy Green. Oh, you're in for a treat. And I was like, okay, so there's a lot of hype here, Andy. I'm not to put pressure on you, but there's a lot of hype here.
You're obviously speaking to a very limited subset of people. But I appreciate the introduction. I see Jay Davis is with us. Jay, what's going on?
Jay Davis is with us. William White, Tyler Swinson.
Full house in tonight.
Got a full house. Thank you, gang, for being here.
Well, listen, Matt, I cut my teeth in New England up your way in the distribution side of the business. So, a lot of the people probably that you run into, I spent a lot of my, I don't know, maybe formative years, I guess, on this side of the business up in New England. So they beat me up pretty bad.
Yeah.
So the fact that they say nice things about me now is wonderful. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Another industry friend who I was talking to about you was our friend Jeremy from Federal Cigar. Nothing but nice things to say. Love you.
My family and I lived in. So I started with Ashton in 2006. I was in retail for just short of 10 years in Ohio, premium cigars, working for 2 different retail stores up there. Started with Ashton in 06, moved to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And I would probably say right about that time, I'm going to say 2007 and 2008, Jeremy was working at Cigar Masters at the time in Providence. So Jeremy and I do go way back. I just had the I don't want to call it a privilege. That's a little heavy. But just recently I was back in New Hampshire and I was able to stop in and see Jeremy. Happened that Nick Goss was in town. Obviously, you guys know Nick, I'm sure.
I know Nick.
So I got to visit with those guys for a minute. They got to meet my wife and my 3 daughters, which was pretty cool because I don't get to do that often. So it was great. It was great.
Yeah, it's always a good time in this neck of the woods. Especially New Hampshire. It's not like Florida or some other parts of the country, but it's definitely way more cigar friendly than Massachusetts. And there's some really awesome shops up there. I mean, you got 2 guys, you got Twins, Federal. Castro's. There's some awesome shops in the state of New Hampshire.
Yeah. All of New England, coming from the state of Ohio and moving out, east. I have a nickname up in New England that I won't throw out here for the for it to be hung on to forever. But you can just add somebody. But you come from Ohio. You move out there, everybody, of course, on the East Coast, everything west of Pittsburgh is basically farm country. So everybody, initially just automatically assumed I grew up on a farm, which I did not, by the way. But so, you had to kind of, that I didn't grow up on a farm. We do have a farm in our family, but I didn't grow up on it. But at any rate, you had to figure things out in New England pretty quickly. And when you're with really good people, people that love the brand, love the product, they love cigars, they love the industry, and they kind of, I don't want to say help you along the way because that sounds a little bit weird, but like I do feel very much connected to New England because of the fact that I feel like I grew up there. Kurt Kendall's one of my best friends in the industry. Obviously, Jeremy Soares, the guys at Castro's, um, Watch City, I'll Shop, Peretti, Regency, all these guys that I've known for a very long time. So
Oh yeah.
anyway, I
No.
can't name the whole country, Jay. I'm sorry, but you're up there too.
No, all the shops you mentioned though, great shops. I've been to them all. Great people. Before we get too deep, I want to just run our cigar of the night. Cigars of the night brought to you by Two Guys Smoke Shop. If you head over to twoguyscigars.com, you can find all of your cigar needs. That's at the number 2 guyscigars.com. I'm going to smoke I'm already smoking the Ashton Symmetry, and as is Nicole.
Yep.
Both smoking those. Fantastic
We're
cigars.
matching tonight.
We are matching. Andy, what are you smoking? It looks like you got the, is that the Pasion?
La Aroma de Cuba, Pasion.
Oh, Pasion. See, I always mess up with the Spanish
It's okay.
pronunciation.
You can call it whatever you want, Matt, as long as you like to smoke it. That's all that matters.
I feel
Have
like...
you guys smoked? Have you smoked the Symmetry before?
Oh yeah, I have.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Not this
Yes.
size, but yes.
And your thoughts?
It's a good cigar. It's not one that I grab frequently, not because it's bad. I have some other like real hard hitting favorites, as I was sharing with you before the show. Also, another one that I really really love is the ESG, the Estate Sangre.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic cigar.
Who was enjoying ESG last night in preparation of the show?
That was me.
Unbelievable. Going top shelf.
I know. I was getting ready.
On a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday night, taking it to the house. I love it. I had the cigar positioned right over here over my left shoulder just for you tonight, Matt.
It's a good cigar. I mean, what can I
But
say?
listen, Symmetry is very unique, and I don't know if you know that or not, but it is the only one of our products that has Nicaraguan tobacco in the filler. So I always think from a retail perspective or an education perspective, most people that smoke Ashton and are familiar with our profile, whatever it is that you enjoy, Symmetry is completely different than that. It's a completely different category. It's meant for a very different consumer. So, from the beginning, it was all about educating. It's not just, if a guy's a VSG guy or a cabinet guy or even an ESG guy, you might walk somebody like that to Symmetry, and in their mind, they might be thinking Ashton flavoring, and it's just completely different and unique in a wonderful way. So I enjoy it because, again, when you first light that bad boy, it's very peppery. You pick up that Nicaraguan, but then the wrapper takes over. I think I wouldn't use the word. I think that it's been out now for, I guess I lose all track of time. 10 years now. So it's been on the market for a long time. It does fantastic. Enjoy, please.
Yeah, no, it is a good cigar. The Ashton lineup is pretty significant. I mean, Ashton's obviously a brand that's been around a long time, very synonymous in the industry. One of the OGs, if you will. I mean, they've been around.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, and they have a little bit of royalty with some of the other brands like Fuente and Padron and have been around, Davidoff. They've been around a long time. I mean, they're definitely not new to the game. Nice big lines and collections, multiple brands. The Ashton Connecticut, the basic Ashton, I think is one of the most recognizable cigars. I mean, you see those in almost every cigar shop you go. It definitely, if you smoke at least one cigar a month, at minimum, I think you know who Ashton is. It's probably safe to say. So it's definitely a brand that doesn't need an introduction. But Andy, I wanted to circle back a little bit. How did you get into the cigar industry? I don't know if we really talked about that much at all, you and I.
Well, so as I guess tobacco has always kind of been in my family on one level or another. My family isn't in tobacco. My dad's a CPA, Grew up with my dad smoking cigars and smoking his pipe, literally sitting at his desk all the time. I remember being 5, 6, 7 years old, walking downstairs. He had one of those old Falcon pipes. Do you guys know what that is? That's that, one that had the bowl that would screw off.
I've seen it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, old school. So, going down on like a Saturday morning, having my dad pick out his pipe tobacco and his cigars and, whatnot, it was always around. I have an older brother who's 3 years older than I am, who has been smoking cigars since he was 18, which would put me at 16. So I used to steal cigars out of my brother's humidor. Didn't matter what it was. Tubed Garcia Vegas, whatever. I'd steal them out of my brother. I had a very good friend of mine in high school. We both enjoyed cigars. We would skip out of school during, whatever it was called, study hall our senior year, and we would go to the cigar shop. And, my buddy Jay and I would sit there and smoke cigars. And in our mind, we're like, oh my God, there's no way they don't think we're 18 years old. We're obviously business guys. You know what I mean? We're hanging out here at 2:00 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of funny. But then one day I had just turned 18. My friend Jay was, I don't know, maybe like 3 months shy of his 18th birthday. And they had a part-time help sign up. And we went up, and this is a place called Port Royal in Toledo, Ohio. And the owner of the shop, Neil, looked at us. He's like, I'm not hiring 18-year-old kids. Done. So, okay, whatever. Came back, sign was still up a month later, asked him again. And then the answer was no again. So then, maybe like 3 months passed, the sign was still up, and we were like, hey, bro, like, we still want jobs. We're still excited to be here. And, and he relented and he hired us. I remember on my first day on the job, by the way, there was a guy that worked there by the name of Harry Jenkins. He had worked there for like 30 years. And we're standing at the counter at the shop, and he comes up to me and he goes, I just want you to know something. And I'm like, what's that? He goes, I don't know if I won't swear on the show, but he goes, I knew you weren't effing 18 years old the whole time. So just in case you thought you got one over me, I knew the whole time. So that was it. I worked for Neil there for 3 years. Then we opened up a shop in Columbus, Ohio that we ran for 6.5, so 9.5 years. When the store in Columbus closed, Michael Walter, who is our vice president of operations here at Ashton, put me in line for an interview here at Ashton, which I did not get the first time. I came in third place out of third candidates. Third place out of 3 candidates. You know what I meant, right?
You came in last, is what you're saying.
I came in dead last. And I was done with cigars. You know what? I was like, forget it. I'm not, obviously cigars are done. I kind of moved on. And then maybe 5, 6 months later, I got a phone call that they were hiring in New England, and they wanted me to come in and take the job. And that would have been late 2005, right before my wife and I got married. So February of 2006, I started with Ashton. I covered New England and northern New York all the way over to Buffalo, Albany, straight over to Buffalo, all of Connecticut. The guys that Lauren Ferraro, maybe you've met Lauren.
Oh, yeah, we know Lauren.
Oh, we know Lauren.
Yep.
Yeah, Lauren's fantastic. Jordan Charles, who covers Connecticut and upstate New York for us now. Just in case they ever complain to you guys about how hard their job is, just remind them that I used to cover all of it myself, okay? I think Lauren's probably listening. But anyway, so I did that for 6.5 years, and then I was hired by an industry legend, Manny Ferraro. God rest his soul. Manny passed away 10 years ago, March 29th. He was our original vice president of sales. He's one of the most impactful people. Almost anybody who met him would say the same thing. He's a phenomenal guy. That was my mentor. That was my original boss. He was our VP for, I guess, probably 25 years. I got promoted to national sales manager. That put me on the road 36 weeks a year, traveling with our group. Then 2019, I was promoted to my current role, which is vice president of sales, which brought me here to Philadelphia. So that's the whole thing. My entire adult life, I'm 45 years old this year, and 27 years I've been in the cigar industry. Wow. And I have all my hair. It's not completely gray.
You happy? You look happy.
Yeah.
The cigar industry is wonderful. We used to make a joke years ago. You're like, once you get sucked in, you can't get out. And it's true. It's a phenomenal industry. You get to talk to great people. Cigars have always been the great equalizer in every single room, and you make great connections with people. I happen to be with obviously what I consider the best company in the industry, so that doesn't make things suck at all. But yeah, it's been a great ride that's nowhere near being over.
Yeah, I
That's my
mean,
whole story, Matt. What?
well, I mean, it was a good one though. I mean,
We're only 20 minutes in.
I know
Oh my
he really
God.
banged that out quick. No,
I'll see you guys later. Thank you for having me.
it's funny. I was also reading just as that you finished that. I'm looking at Jay Davis's comment. I don't think I've ever seen Andy not wearing a suit.
This is Office Andy, Jay. This is Office Andy.
Office Andy's
I
a little
was
more laid back.
full disclosure. A little bit ago, I was wearing like a 3/4 zip up, much more formal. But I think that at it gets a lot warmer in here past like 7:30, so it was too hot. So that's why I had to go to the polo. I'm sorry to disappoint, Jay. I'll send you a photo later of me in a suit or something. I don't know.
Make it up to him, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
Jay,
make it up to him.
Jay's also not known for being picky like that. That's interesting. That's interesting.
It's
Um,
okay. He's right. He's right. As a rule of thumb, anytime any one of our people, if you ever see them at a retail shop, this is something that we started back in the '90s, and it goes along the logic of, or the mindset that, our retail partners are our partners, and we want them to know and to understand that we appreciate their business, that we're not just getting up in the morning and putting on a pair of flip-flops and a t-shirt and walking out the door. We're taking time to be there to present. We represent an international iconic luxury brand. That's number one. And number two, it's a respect thing that we have for our retail partners. And that's a rule of thumb. So I'm sure tomorrow morning there's going to be 15 salespeople calling me with a screenshot maybe of this photo of me in a polo, but it's okay. I'll take the heat.
Jay, we'll pin it on Jay. We'll say it's all Jay's
Yeah,
fault. He had the beef.
it's all his fault. He can
Yeah.
handle it too.
Yeah.
By
Oh
the
yeah, he
way,
can.
I didn't get to talk to Jay. I know he's up here. I just wanted to congratulate. I know Jay got um, purchased a new store recently, so
He did.
really good things to come for him, hopefully.
Yeah, he was on a couple weeks ago. We were talking about it, and Jay's growing. Jay's always growing, and he's on the board of the PCA. He's got a lot of things going on right now. So, all power to him. He's one of our biggest fans. I think he's the number one fan of the Spare Notes show, which is another show I do with William Cooper.
Yep, I see it. I watch it.
Yeah, it's so he's always on there. So yeah, he's in the high rank in the Smokin Tobacco book right now. But no, it's great that he's here and everyone else is here with us too. So Ashton, as I mentioned before, Ashton's a brand that's definitely not a new brand. They've been around, existing brand, not really going through some of the same challenges as some like a younger brand that's trying to build itself and build its inventory and build its lines and all this. Ashton's a brand that's very established. What especially in the last couple of years with all the challenges that all the manufacturers have faced, with the pandemic and everything going on. How has Ashton continued to weather the storm and keep their gold standard that they have running smoothly through all of these times?
Well, first off, in the tobacco industry, big or small, we all go through the same, challenges on a regular basis. You guys go to see a lot of shops. We're all competing for the same shelf space. We're all trying to work as best we can to make sure that our retailers are in a good space to sell our product and to make money and, all of those things. We're very fortunate from the standpoint that the people that I work for, the Levins, well, let me just say this. Over the last 2 years, I think a couple of the most important things I don't want to get too far in the weeds on this, Matt, but I think two of the most important things as the industry as a whole for people that have had success were obviously inventory, and I think strong branding. If you're a brand that has a recognizable image or a footprint or a likeness, or has obviously phenomenal distribution, I think that you had the opportunity within these last couple of years to be very successful, which fortunately for Ashton, we were. The second, the second part of that obviously is inventory. It's no secret that on many different levels everywhere in our world, there's been, supply chain issues, whether it be because there weren't enough rollers to make cigars, whether it's because there's not enough, tobacco or ability to harvest, whether it's printing or packaging or whatever. We've all had our issues. We're very fortunate in this facility because the people that own Ashton have always believed very much in inventory and being able to, because look, we have a very wide, diverse product portfolio. It's one of the diverse portfolios, one of the things that as a company we stand on, but also the ability for the consumer to find our products and to have access to those. Just before the pandemic, 2018, we had just finished up a massive expansion of our warehouse here in Philadelphia. And, we went into 2019, all, full speed ahead, all guns blazing with lots of inventory. So great inventory, great branding, diverse portfolio. I think over the last couple of years really solidified, our strength in the marketplace. I wouldn't say solidify that's the wrong word. Strengthened our position in the marketplace. And from my vantage point, those kind of things are gonna hopefully continue. You talk about Ashton, Matt. Ashton is coming up on 40 years. It's an international iconic. It's a staple brand in every retailer. You said it. I appreciate it from your standpoint. Every retailer in the country, I have rose-colored glasses, okay, but every retailer in the country should have Ashton Classic on your shelf. That is a volume mover. It's a volume brand. It always has been. Ashton VSG has been out since 1999. It's a similar kind of pattern. Cigar's been out now for 23 straight years, but every year we still achieve growth in the Ashton VSG product line, despite the fact that that's continues to be a market that gets more and more competitive. Obviously, Aroma de Cuba. Aroma de Cuba has been out since 2005, but in its current iteration since 2012, the baseline Aroma de Cuba, that's our number 2 cigar by volume now. So we really, and especially over the course of the last couple of years, we have what we look at as 3 staple brands in retail stores that we know if these brands go on your shelf, you're going to have a great chance of turning inventory, making money, creating cash flow, all of those things that are positive for retail in general. Did that answer your original question, Matt?
It did. I mean, that was a much longer response than I think I anticipated, but it did answer the question.
Covered all the bases.
And in the meantime, Jay Davis, I think, is one of Andy Green's biggest cheerleaders. Jeremy did tune in here and say that.
Thank you, Jeremy Soares.
AG is the man, bro. But also Jay Davis, Ashton Cigars are the best, hands down, made by Fuente and my father. No one has a portfolio like they do. So, I mean, Jay's now trying to make up for calling you out on the suit thing. So.
It's all right. It's okay. I touched on it very briefly on the diverse portfolio thing. We were truly, from a branding standpoint, we are extremely fortunate that we work with 2 of the premier producers of cigars in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Fuentes have made Ashton since 1988. The original cigar that they made for us was Ashton Cabinet, and then the Classic, and then everything thereafter has given us the opportunity to kind of fulfill our ideals in the marketplace, which is highest quality product at a fair market value, that you can deliver consistently over time. And our commitment to that has always been steadfast. So then, now we have a partnership with my father, and there's 5 different La Aroma de Cubas. There's 5 different San Cristobals, all of which are just blossoming, before our very eyes, becoming, again, La Aroma de Cuba is becoming, in a place where in 3 to 4 years, 3, 4, 5 years, it will be a staple international kind of iconic brand also. So that diverse portfolio thing is something that we're very proud of. It's, our ownership here in Philadelphia has always believed in not having products that cannibalize off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
They always fit into some sort of piece to the puzzle. We don't introduce brands with the idea of that brand going away a year from then, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. We develop brands with the idea that we're going to build them slowly over time, so that the consumers, hopefully the people that are, going to join us tonight or listen to this, understand that if they smoke a La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor now, they're going to be able to find that cigar 2 years from now.
Right.
And again, that gives stability to our retail partners. That gives stability in the marketplace. That helps to grow and build the brand, which again then helps us grow distribution and branding and all of these, things after. So
one of Nicole's favorite cigars is a La Aroma de Cuba.
No, you San
Man,
Cristobal.
I lost you there.
He doesn't
I
know.
lost you there for a second. You glitched out. I didn't hear the first part of your comment.
Is it a San Cristobal?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was La Aroma de Cuba.
No.
Which one is it?
The Ovation.
The
I like
Ovation.
the Ovation.
That's
They're hard to find up here, but I find them.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole, unfortunately, they're for a period of time, they're going to become harder and harder to find, because they're probably going to go through a rebranding of sorts sometime over the year. But in terms of cigars, that's like the strongest cigar out of any of our portfolio. That thing is.
I love dark wrappers.
Yeah, I personally can't smoke that thing. Full disclosure. Before
Really?
noon.
Really?
Days.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's like one of my top favorite cigars, but they have them in Rhode Island at what shop? I'm gonna have to go and buy them all.
Regency.
At Regency.
Michael at Regency.
I'm gonna go buy them all now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just rich. It's decadent. I mean, it's so complex. It really is. That's beautiful.
Well,
I love Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's my palate. I like really heavy cigars.
Good. We don't really do at Ashton. Again, this goes to what I was just speaking about maybe a second ago. We don't do a whole lot of limited edition stuff. It's not really our approach to the marketplace, because again, like I said before, we want people to be able to consistently find our products. But ESG that's a limited produced product, Matt, that you were enjoying last night.
Mm-hmm.
Noblesse and Ovation, of course, La Aroma de Cuba Noblesse, which has been out 6 years, 7 years, and then Ovation about 2 years after that. Very successful, but the idea wasn't for it to be like a limited run, right? It was on the market for a year and then you can't find it anymore. The first size of Noblesse when we came out with it was a Toro. People loved it, so we did a Robusto a year later, and then a year after that we did a Churchill, and now there's 3 of each on the marketplace. So keep looking for them.
I'll find them.
You'll find them.
Yeah, every time we come across them, she's got to grab a couple.
I'm ashing all over my desk here. I'm sorry.
That's part of the experience. That's
part of the experience.
Yeah, you got to get ash on yourself.
It's a good thing I'm not wearing a tie, right? Or else I would have gotten it on my tie.
Or like a nice suit, get it on the
or like
fabric.
A nice suit. Yeah. I've burned plenty of holes in suits and ties anyway. Comes with the territory.
Yeah, it comes with the. I was just gonna say it comes with the territory, and that's what you signed up for.
That's right. That's right.
Should we
driving down the road? If it drops out of your mouth, you got nothing. You can't do anything about it. It just sits there right between your legs and burns a hole in your suit. But
and then that suit's trash.
Yeah. Positive.
The
conversation has digressed, Nicole. I apologize.
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, let's hit our news really quick. Our news brought to you once again by McAuliffe Cigars. If you head over to McAuliffeCigars.com, sign up to become an official ambassador. We'll get your ambassador number, ambassador coin, and while you're at it, head over to Facebook and join the McAuliffe Ambassadors group where you can smoke and hang out with all your fellow ambassadors. Drew Estate has been dominating the news in the past week. They have unleashed several projects to the market, or at least announced them. Um, their freestyle live that was running during last week's show. They announced the Nika Rustica Adobe that's coming out, and then of course several other things, and they've been trickling through the news. This week, one of the more interesting ones too is they have announced that they are introducing the Liga Privada H99 Phineas Gage Lancero as a Drew Diplomat Program event exclusive cigar. So I'm sure most people have heard, especially if you're a Drew Estate smoker, of the newest member of the Liga Privada family, the H99, which uses a hybrid Connecticut Corojo tobacco. I've had the cigar. It's awesome. It's a good cigar. A little tough to find right now, which Drew Estate promises it'll get better with time. But now they've introduced a Lancero version, which will be an exclusive to event. It's an event-only exclusive, so keep an eye out there for your Drew Estate events. I think they're going to be available starting, I want to say, the end of the month at certain Drew Estate events. So definitely check that out. It's very interesting, especially H99 being already rare. Now there's an even rarer version of it hitting the market. So keep your eyes peeled, as well as all the other amazing stuff that Drew Estate has going on. That's been in the news. You can read about it, all of it, at smokintabacco.com.
Do you want to hit top 3?
Let's not hit that quite yet.
Okay.
But I want to hit on something else really quick too. That I was going to bring up in the beginning, but we're having so much fun with Andy. I do want to hit this really quick. We are in the final days, again, for real this time, of the Smokin Tabacco Cigar Family Charitable Foundation raffle. We had extended it 2 weeks if you missed the news, so it is still running. We are currently we're sitting just under $23,000 at $22,870 raised. In addition to that, whatever that final number ends up being on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. when the raffle officially ends, Carlito Fuente has told me personally that they will be the Fuente Family Foundation, separate from CFCF, will be personally matching that number. So as it sits right now, we're looking at almost $45,000 raised for the Cigar Family Charitable Foundation. That's a lot of money for that charity. That money goes such a long way. We've done a couple of lives. Last Friday night we were live with Cynthia and Carlito, and Carlito talked to in great length about it, and explained just how far the money really does go, and just how much even $1,000 can do, let alone $44,000. So really, it is such a special cause. All of the money goes right into it. The Fuente and Newman families pay for all of the overhead costs and the administrative costs. I'd love to hit 25. We are so close. I'd love to hit 25 and make that a solid 50 grand. That would be epic.
And just saying, there were new prizes added. We didn't have them.
There are new prizes added, and there's still a few more that I haven't gotten up onto the raffle page yet, but I've kind of started to promote on social media. John Carney has, La Flor Dominicana has a nice lineup of prizes in that raffle, which is amazing, and we really appreciate everyone over there. But John personally, through Hacking Gourmet, he has donated 2 packs of cigars. Is going to be the Tour de Mundo, and which will be
accompanied with a $50 Meat and Bone gift card.
Actually, no, the first one. So there's a 5-pack. Oh. There's a 5-pack that has a $25 Meat and Bone gift card, and then there's a separate prize of 2 5-packs, so 10 cigars total, and that'll have a $50 Meat and Bone gift card, which you can use online to order meats. It's not like you can only use it at the restaurant. You can also order online. So it'll be an electronic gift card. We also have a guitar that has been donated to us by someone in Germany that is custom made. He makes them himself, and it's all covered in cigar bands. And I have that information that I'm going to get up online shortly. We also have another donation from the Goat Cigar Club. The guys over there, I've known them for a little while now, and they were gracious enough to donate something as well. I'm going to have that up online soon. And we have another Daniel Marshall humidor that our friend Peter from the United Kingdom has donated, that Nicole picked up while she was over there
In England.
and brought it back home. So we have that, which is awesome. So there's another Daniel Marshall prize up for grabs.
And all the Fuente Cynthia sent.
Yes, and then Cynthia has sent more Fuente prizes as well. So there's going to be some bourbon as well. There's some Weller. There's a Weller Special Reserve. There's a Weller Antique 107. There's an Angel's Envy that's going to come with I want to say it's a 5-pack of Opus X Angel's Share. That'll be a bundle, as well as some of the Fuente coffee, the rocks glasses, the coffee cups, some hats, the tumbler.
And some of the cigars that came from Cynthia's personal locker as well.
So the larger versions of the Between the Lines, Cynthia's personal cigars, those were sent. Some of her custom Between the Lines with all the different patterns and different wrappers that you guys may have seen before. That's from her personal collection, and those are in there as well. There's also some Don Carlos Lanceros. All that stuff's going to be kind of broken up and put into like an assorted pack. So there'll be multiple chances to win all of those cigars. So keep an eye out for that. All of that stuff will be loaded in on the raffle page. It's up for grabs now officially, but it'll be on the page for you to see in the breakdown by this weekend as we wrap up the final days.
So Tuesday, over 50 winners. Get in.
Yeah.
Don't miss your chance.
There is a lot of good stuff. I can't thank everyone enough who's bought raffle tickets and made a monetary donation, as well as all the manufacturers, most of which, the owners of those companies themselves personally reached out to me and donated these items. I want to thank every single one of those people for being so generous. I mean, this is, in an industry where, like Andy was saying before, everyone's competing for shelf space, right? But, when it comes to stuff like this, even the other manufacturers, they look at, what the Fuente and Newman families have done, and it's like, we should all come together and graciously and so easily just like, yeah, I want to be a part of this. I want to help them with their charity. So here's something of mine, and you can raffle off and raise money. So just so generous, so kind, just so humbled to be a part of it, honored to be a part of it. I can't say enough about it, and I appreciate it. We all do. We appreciate it so much for everyone who really contributed to this fundraiser. It's way bigger than we anticipated it being this year. Last year we did $7,000. We thought, hey, if we get to 10 this year, that's awesome. And now we're looking at maybe 25. So it's definitely we're gonna make an impact. So just really thank you again to everyone.
And it's been great, but I really don't want to package all of it up.
When it's finally over, there's gonna be a lot of packages to send out.
Last year for the prizes last year, I was at the post office for like 4 hours.
And that was everything already being packaged.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a lot.
There's got to be a way to simplify that, Nicole.
We'll figure it out.
I know.
That's Matt. That's phenomenal, though. This is the second year that you guys have done that. You went from 7 to 25. I guess with Carlito's matching donation, that's going to be 50.
Yeah.
That's congratulations. I mean, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
I'm speechless over it still. I mean, it's way more than I ever imagined. It's and the fact that people came out and donated, and gave some money. And I understand. There's a lot of stuff that people are hoping to win too. But the bigger picture of it is, the fact that, that money isn't just, you're paying someone's pocket, so you can maybe get something. It's the money still goes somewhere good, whether you win or lose, or you get something or not, I should say. That money still goes to change somebody's life. And that's the biggest part of this. Talking to Carlito last week and Cynthia, and they've had some of their friends on with us doing some of these special lives we've done, and their friends personally telling us, their experience. It's amazing. So yeah, I mean, thank you for saying that. It's just an honor to be a part of it. It really is. It's been so special. So
right, and they've developed the infrastructure to make sure that the donation that you're putting forward goes to the right places and actually has an impact in the community, which is truly what should happen. So
yeah,
good job.
Yeah, and good job to everyone. Because we couldn't have done it without everyone coming out. I mean, really. I mean, that's the honest truth. I mean, we could have put it up. No one could have donated. So really, it's awesome job to all of you. Really. I mean, I passed that right on to everyone listening who was part of it. Um, it's just truly been amazing. So you do only have a few more days left. So this weekend's final push, final hurrah. If you missed out, don't. You still have some time. Um, if you wanted to donate again, you want to buy more raffle tickets, whatever it is, you want to get in, do it now because we're running out of time. And then Tuesday night is the big show, the big reveal. All the winners will be announced. The prizes are going to go out. Not right away. It's probably going to take us some time to get everything sorted, labeled, packaged. So just have some patience with us. Might be a week or two before you actually get it, but there's going to be a lot of stuff to shake out. So just have some patience with us.
A lot of humidors to ship.
Yeah, there's a lot of humidors to ship too. So just bear with us as we get through all that. It's going to take some time. It won't be instant. You know, we don't have a warehouse here like some of the big retailers. So again, just thank you to everyone. Andy, getting back to you. So, you know, I know that we're knocking on the door of it's almost July, which means that I'm sorry, it's almost June, which means we're getting close to July, which is also the time for the PCA trade show. Now,
Don't skip that month.
Yeah, Ashton is definitely a brand that's never missed PCA. They're, you know, legendary brand, strong brand at PCA, supporting the PCA. What can we look forward to from Ashton at PCA this year? Anything new? Anything exciting? Do you guys have any plans? Business as usual? What can we see out in Las Vegas in July?
So, well, you know, just kind of to the first part, you know, in terms of the PCA in general, you know, we've been to, you know, every PCA and IPCPR and, you know, RTDA and every different, you know, naming of it. So, I mean, obviously the PCA for us is very important on many different levels. Our company, not only through PCA, but in, you know, all kinds of other legislative activities that we participate in. As an industry, the trade show is extremely important for retailers to be active in. You know, obviously a healthy trade show is a healthy industry, and you get to go there and establish relationships. You get to hopefully learn something new. You see new products. You know, you get to be part of the action. And from an industry standpoint, it is so important for people to participate and to be there. And Ashton, you know, we've always been there. We find it very important. You know, 5 years ago, we built this big brand new what the heck's the word I'm looking for? Trade show booth that, you know, we won an award for it. And obviously things have changed. The footprint changed. Last year probably wasn't exactly what people have come to, you know, view the Ashton booth as being. And one thing certainly for people that are going to join this year is we've made some changes in terms of our booth style, our booth setup. So it's probably going to be a return to more of the expectation of Ashton and our position and our standing within the industry. So that would be one thing, just from not that I felt like last year didn't meet the effect that it should have, but this year certainly we'll have a different kind of booth setup. From our standpoint, when you talk about new, I assume you want to know new products, right, Matt? Is that really kind of the question you're looking for there?
Yeah,
if you're willing to share.
If you're willing to share.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you what's gonna sound like a little bit of a BS answer, but it's kind of like the truth. You know, we don't come out with new stuff all the time. So for us, you know, La Aroma de Cuba Pasion came out at last year's PCA. You know, I only had 9 cigars on me, and the 9 cigars, unfortunately, were unlabeled, and it was for our sales group that was with me to smoke and enjoy and get excited to talk to our retail customers about. So Pasion has only been in the marketplace since October. So La Aroma de Cuba Pasion, let me just say too that hit the market at a time when a lot of manufacturers were struggling to get core line product to market. We had the opportunity to release a new product in a established brand, La Aroma de Cuba, and it's done fantastic. So in terms of new product, that's still a new product from Ashton's standpoint. We have, I don't know if you've noticed, recently with the development of Pasion and that beautiful mint green band and the coloring and all the ways that we've been able to kind of work that into the marketplace. We've also used that as an opportunity to update some of the packaging and some of our other product lines. There's Pasion. La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor just recently got a facelift. The old packaging from La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor in a lot of ways was kind of dark, almost kind of shadowy. It was a nice royal kind of blue. Yeah, but we lightened it up. It's a much more bright and kind of an effective. What we're always trying to, uh, from a merchandising standpoint, from a packaging standpoint, we recognize that when consumers walk into the stores, they're there to spend 10, 15, $20 on a product that in a lot of ways is going to maybe in a lot of instances might only take them 45 minutes to an hour to light on fire, and it's going to be gone. So we want to make sure that the presentation, that the approach, that the experience is on the high level on all fronts. And so you'll see some packaging differences. Again, La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor, Reserva just got a facelift a little bit. We kind of dropped the Mi Amor. It's just La Aroma de Cuba Reserva now moving forward. Pasion, I still consider Symmetry new, Matt, because Ashton Symmetry was the first cigar that we had introduced in over 10 years since Ashton ESG. So Symmetry is still, to us, in its infantile stages, kind of still building and creating, even though it's in our top 6, continuing to grow and blossom that brand. We brought La Aroma de Cuba out in fresh packs at the end of last year. I don't know if you've seen those in the marketplace. You talk about Ashton.
Yeah, I've seen the packs.
Right. You talk about Ashton's Classic, right? It's, that imaging for Ashton Classic and all the brands behind. Obviously, you can tweak and you can mess around, but it's a classic brand. La Aroma de Cuba, because it's newer, we can kind of work around and make some of the packaging fresh and eye-popping. And so we created a new fresh packs in our 4. There's a sampler, there's La Aroma de Cuba, there's Mi Amor, and then a fresh pack for EE. That's new to the marketplace for us. So that just gives, for consumers, another opportunity to enjoy and buy product and have it, in a humidified bag, for whatever they use it, golf course, going on the boat, going to a barbecue, traveling, whatever. Another avenue for that. In terms of new product, though, at the trade show this year, you're probably not going to see anything new from Ashton. Probably you guys will, hopefully sometime soon. That's not my department. They let me know when it's time to sell it, Matt.
Yeah, that's fair. That's what they pay you for, right?
That's what I get. That's what I get paid
just sell
for.
this. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so the PCA, I'm very excited. I get very excited for it every year. The PCA for us is very much it is a relationship building exercise from start to finish. We're there to support the PCA. We're there to make connections with our retailers. We're there to introduce and showcase new product. We're there to, build and solidify maybe space that a consumer or a retailer already dedicates to our product. It isn't for Ashton as much about the selling that we do on the floor. It's about the connections that we make that allow us to do business for 12 months out of the year.
Right.
And so our focus going into that week might be a little bit different than some of the other manufacturers. It doesn't, one way or the other. We're there to showcase our branding and to again support and solidify retail partners. So I get excited about that because I'm only one of me. I can't be everywhere. It's my one time a year that I get to see, 300-400 retailers, some of which I get to see throughout the year, some of them that I don't. And it's a great opportunity to get to sit down and talk. Here in recent years, Cigar Coop and you guys and some of the other outlets come by the booth, which gives another medium for consumers to be able to connect to what's going on the retail floor, which I think is, retail floor, trade show floor, which is great for our small boutique, kind of niche industry. It's great to kind of have that grow a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice, and like you said, even for us, to get to connect with everyone and just catch up on some things and see what's in the works and um, just.
Are you guys? What are you guys most excited about at the PCA this year?
Oh, he
Your
turns it right
second
around
time in.
on us.
Ooh,
Oh,
getting through it.
yeah.
There's so many booths, so for us
It's a
too,
marathon.
It's a marathon for us. We eat room service like animals afterward because we're trying to upload everything as quickly as
Yeah, you're
possible.
just sitting in the room.
Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, like if you're going there as a retailer, maybe it's not as bad. You're kind of just going and shopping, but for us, it's just like it's running around, shooting photos, shooting video, talking to people, getting information, then going back and dumping it, and getting as much of it uploaded and whatever as fast as you can, because then you got to go to dinners with manufacturers, or you got to go to events or parties, and you got to go down to the Circle Bar, and you gotta. That's where the real magic happens. And anyone who goes to the trade show knows that is true. That's where the real magic happens. That's where everyone meets up, gets a little liquored up, and that's when they spill they spill their secrets.
Their trade industry secrets.
Well, we're not supposed to announce it, but we have this coming out in February. But I can't tell you that.
I'm too old for that shit. I try to bypass that stuff. I try to bypass that stuff at the end of the night, especially after a couple of scotches. I don't want to get loose-lipped. I'm only joking. Stop there every night.
The days of the trade show itself, while it's open, it's not glamorous for us. It's like
we're
Nicole
sweating,
said,
running
it's
around.
Starbucks in
it's
the
a lot
morning.
of work.
You power through lunch. You have room service, and then you're back out by like 8 o'clock. So it's not,
So listen, when I first started in 2006, and it's kind of changed. It's obviously changed a little bit, but we used to do 3 dinners, 1 per night. The first night, the second night, and the third night of the trade show, and it was 250 to 300 people every night. It was a wedding reception. So you wake up at 6:30 in the morning. You go to the trade show floor 8:30. You're working with retailers the entire day. Bell rings at 5 o'clock. You run upstairs. You brush your teeth. You freshen up, whatever, and you're right back downstairs to go to the cigar dinner. For another 3 hours. I mean, those days, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're up 4 hours later. That was grueling. Over the years, we've kind of diminished them. Unfortunately, the last few years, we haven't been able to have them for various reasons, obviously. But that was grueling. That was a lot of work and a lot of scotch, honestly.
Yeah.
Help make a lot of those nights go a lot faster.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to, and maybe this is a cliche answer, and maybe it's not the answer that most people would expect, but one thing about the trade show, that I find special, that I look forward to, is just being able to see everyone, because we all talk, whether it's virtually or on the phone or an email, like all year round. I mean, we talk in some capacity, but we don't actually all get to be together and hang out and just catch up with each other, because then after that, everyone flies out and everyone's back to doing all their own things. So, it is a very special time. There's so much to gain from the trade show for everybody in any capacity. So it's something we should support. Before we wrap up the show tonight, we want to hit our top 3 segment, and Nicole is going to start that off.
Well, you got to do your intro, and then I'll do it because we finally have the soundbite.
We do. We do. Do you want me to? Do you want me to read it and then you're gonna play it, or do you want me to
just do your intro and then
give me a
where you would do it?
Okay.
I'll do the soundbite.
There's a lot of instruction going on here.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've had the soundbite.
Yeah, this is the first show with the soundbite of Matt actually saying this himself and not me.
Let's see if I don't mess it up. Go.
I know there's a lot of pressure on you right now.
I know.
Our top 3 segment brought to you once again by Room 101 Cigars.
Oh, wait, no, I had it muted. See, I already messed it up.
You already goofed it up.
Hold
Take
on.
your vitamins. Smoke Room 101.
Oh, wait, no, there we go.
No,
Wait, we're going to do this one more time. Hold on.
Watch the Smokin Tabacco show. Eat your vegetables. Take your vitamins. Smoke Room 101.
And that's the soundbite.
And that's it. Smoke Room 101.
Well, we need to, make that smoother.
Yeah, we do.
But we have the soundbite
You
now.
also make sure it's not muted before you do it.
Okay, well, my bad. New segments. This is what happens.
I'm just so happy that I didn't have technical issues tonight. That's all I'm happy about. I'm here.
He was on time. He was ready to go. His
I was on
presentation's
time.
beautiful. Sounds
I've
good.
been
Our
Looks
sitting
last
good.
here
few shows, we've had a lot of tech issues with the guests. So
With
this
the
is
Matt
guests,
nice.
not
actually
us.
asked me Matt asked me earlier this week when we were talking. He goes, we used to have earphones in. I said, look, I'm not messing around with any of that stuff. I'm just gonna sit right here at my desk. There won't be. It's like a sound chamber in here. It's perfect.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
I didn't move.
There you go. So our top 3 this week. Now, you've been in the industry a long time. You've been around. You know a lot of people. You've been to a lot of events. I'm sure that there's 3 instances that you could share with us. As painful as maybe they might be, I don't know. We'll find out. Your 3 most embarrassing moments so far on the job in this industry. What are the 3 times where you
man.
just were like, I fucked that up?
Oh my goodness, I was completely unprepared for this question. The 3 most embarrassing things.
That's kind of the point of
That's the
this. It's
point.
kind of to catch you off guard.
Jeez, man. So, I mean, these are going to be very small things, I guess, in the scope of things. But uh, I got lost in the garage beneath Copley Center there in Boston one time, while my boss Manny was uh, looking for watches upstairs, and I got lost, and it took me like an hour and a half to find my damn car. So by the time I got up, he was fuming mad. That was embarrassing. I fucked that one up completely. And that was like the second time I ever traveled with him. Um, golly, man.
I have a second one for you too that might be a little
This
bit
might
easier.
take me some. This might take me some time. Can I
We
come
can do a
back on?
backup.
Yeah, we can do a backup. I'm gonna give you another one. We can always come back if you come up with some other stuff. So the other one I was gonna prepare, I was prepared to throw at you was, so again, you've been around, you know a lot of people. If you were to build a super team with 3 other people, it could be 3 other execs, just reps, whatever, 3 other people from this industry that you know personally. You had to build a super team of 4 people to run a brand. Who would those 3 other people be?
All right. So first of all, I just like to address something that Jay Davis just said. He said, "Finally, an F-bomb." My wife reminded me this morning that I'm not supposed to say "fuck" on podcast, Jay. So I tried to get all of my F-bombs out during the day today. So when I came on, it was completely out of the way. All right. So what was the question?
Sorry.
A super team.
Yeah, if you had to build a super team, like an all-star team, right, with 3 other people, including yourself, who would the 3 other people be?
I can't say 3 of myself. I can't say. Like,
Wow,
I can't-
that's bold.
That's.
That's bold. Can
I
just
mean,
get
you
3 clones?
can. Does that really?
I mean, I guess it counts
Yeah.
if you could clone yourself.
That's a terrible question because it's going to really put me
Wow.
on the spot. Okay, 3 people other than myself. I would probably honestly, if you want to talk about people in the industry that I've known for a long time, that have had a lot of different experiences in the industry, and I mean from like the sales management standpoint. Ike Carapitas from Drew Estate. I've known Ike for a long time. Ike was in retail. Ike has been in the wholesale side of the business. He's been in the cigar rep side of the business. And then, obviously in his current role, I think Ike does a great job. I think that the guys, Jose Ortega from my father, who I know very, very well, I think Jose does a great job in terms of bringing a lot of energy to his brand. I think everybody has their kind of role. Like me sitting here, I'm very much analytical, strategic. I obviously do a lot in the field too, but Jose's like he's a mouthpiece. And then I'm gonna say it's gonna sound ridiculous, but I would say Manny Ferraro. I wish that he was still around. If I had a super team, he would have to be on it. He's the most dynamic personality, really that I've ever met in all of my 25 years in the industry. And I'd like to find another one of him somewhere. But those are people that I know pretty well, that I know have a great outlook and have seen things on multiple different levels. Within my own organization, my own team here, I would be remiss if I didn't say that, we have 15 people that work in our sales group that could fulfill, any role that you ask them to do. They're a phenomenal team. And, if I had to pick any three of them, I could throw a dart and pick three of them, and any of them would do a phenomenal job. So, I went outside of my comfort level for you there, man. I don't usually go on record as saying shit like that, but I did. It's all good.
Yeah, that's kind of the fun
It's
of
a
the top three.
hypothetical question.
Yeah, it's all
yeah.
hypothetical, and it's the way Matt
All right,
wanted
here's
it.
another embarrassing one.
Okay, here we go.
Another embarrassing one. So back when we had our, my mom doesn't watch won't be watching this show, so it's okay. But I was leaving. I showed up to one of our Ashton Cigar dinners years ago, and they knew all the salespeople because we had our own tables. So the servers would come up and say, "Oh, hi, Mr. Green. How are you tonight? What's going on?" And, "Oh, you drink Johnny Walker Black." So my server brought me a Johnny Walker Black, and they brought me a double. And so I drank them just like I normally did. So, like 7 or 8 into it, I'm drinking them like they're regular. I go to leave at say 12:30. And I'm going to leave. And one of the other people says, "Hey, Andy, do you know how to get out of here?" This is at the Venetian. I said, "Oh, yeah." They said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to take a left, take a right, hit the elevator, and go up." I got completely lost on the second floor of the Venetian at about 3 o'clock in the morning. One of our other reps somehow miraculously was at the bottom of the escalator, and he saw me at the top of the escalator, wandering. He wrote it up, and he's like, "Hey, Andy, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know where the fuck I am. Where is my room?" So I woke up at 8 a.m. the next day to the trade show floor, but only because my fellow coworker had to set my alarm. He was nice enough to lay me in my bed. He knows who this is he knows who he is to lay me in my bed, set an alarm, and call the hotel and set me 2 alarms so that I would get up on time. That was a little embarrassing.
Oh, that's
Getting
a good
lost
story.
for 2.5 hours and.
But you just
There's
wander?
there's always a worse story though.
Yeah, there's always a worse
So,
story.
I feel
Whatever you
like-
think your story is,
yeah.
there's always a worse one.
Somebody's done way worse than that. That's true. I haven't done worse than that.
So I had an old manager, and my business is known for crazy parties. He woke up as John Doe in the hospital after one of our holiday parties. So it can be worse.
Could always be worse, right?
It can be worse.
Hopefully he had to live that one down for a while. Right?
Oh, he did. It was lucky he was not fired, probably.
All right. So you have one more out of the 3, and I suppose it's which one of my daughters is the favorite, right? Is that where you're gonna throw that one on me or what?
Oh no, that was
Oh,
it.
no,
those
that
were
was it.
Those were the 3 questions.
Yeah.
That's it. So
Oh, wait a
Technically, it's
second.
one
Here's
No, technically it's one question that you're supposed to give 3 answers to, but then you said you didn't have another embarrassing, so we moved on. That's all.
I gave you 2 different questions.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. You
Yeah.
gave me 5 answers total. I think I've covered it. So it works.
You were over asked.
Yeah.
But no,
No
that was a lot of
problem.
fun. We are getting towards the end of the show. We're running out of time, but I just wanted to say, Andy, thank you for coming on with us. It's been a
Thanks
blast.
for having me.
It's been a lot of fun. Got to hear a little bit more about you, a little bit more about Ashton, and kind of what you guys are kind of working on, and what your business outlook is, and obviously getting to hear about your embarrassing moments wandering around the casino at 3 in the morning. But hey, you know what? We've all been there, so don't feel bad. We've all been there. Let's be honest.
It's the cigar business. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for having me on, and if you want to ever talk more in depth, I'd be more than happy to come and join you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely. We would appreciate that. We're always, always like to have people come back. Like I said, Ashton is we've wanted to do an Ashton show for a while, so I'm glad we were able to do that and really get into it, talk about it, and showcase the brand on the show. So yeah, thank you for being here with us, guys. Once again, just a reminder that the Cigar Family Charitable Foundation raffle ends Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We will then go live and announce all the winners. So keep your eye out on that. Head to SmokinTabacco.com. or our social media. You can get the link to that page. You can donate, get your raffle tickets, or whatever you want to do. And as always, visit SmokinTabacco.com for more news and information of the happenings around the cigar industry. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye, everyone.